Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at building a scene inside Maya and then exporting this scene into Unity. So a couple of things that we need to have a look at. I'm currently using Maya 2012. You may be using Maya 2013. There will be no differences between the two packages for the purpose of this demonstration. So the first thing to notice is how Maya opens up. Here we have Maya. We're currently set into polygon mode. There are several layers of options that we have, and by changing each one of these we change the actual menu set on the top row. Then we move down. We have the shelf where we can have lots of our custom tool sets, and we're currently on the polygon tool set. Maya will open up on the general tab, which will look something like that, and we're just moving to the polygon tool set. So this is the 3D window, and what we've got here is a plane. So we're looking at a top-down grid which has 24 by 24 spaces along it, and these are set. I've turned on for the purpose of this demonstration the heads-up display. So if we were to go to display, heads-up display, poly count, we could turn that off. I've also disabled the icon in the corner that shows the view cube, and this is because it can be quite annoying when you're trying to maneuver and manipulate around inside Maya. So let's have a look at setting up our first scene. Okay, so here's the Unity folder. We're going to just have a look at the Unity scene, which is currently just in my documents. It's the new Unity project. This is just a default one that I set up, and if I turn off this this image plane, you can see that we have a grid system not dissimilar to the one in Maya. Here is the camera, which has a world position, so world position of -10 in Z, and this is the view we're currently looking at through the camera. If I bring up Maya, the first thing I want to do is set my project, and I'm going to set my project within the Unity window. So I'm going to make it easier for me to work. So here I am with the default projects, and all I'm going to do is just go up to the new Unity folder that I have, which is here, and I'm going to lodge my folder inside here. So I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to call this the Maya data. Set that in there, and this is going to tell me that there is no project definition, no workplace. So I'm just going to create a default one. So if I go to the project window now, Maya data is where I am at, and these are the scenes that are inside it. So I'll click accept, and then we'll whisk back into the Unity project, and this will be updated, and inside here we can see all those folders have been created for us. Now this is going to make life a little bit easier for us. We can still bring in other data, we can still have other data inside the project that's Unity based data, but we have our Maya project live inside this Unity project now. So let's build some basic shapes. What we're going to do is we're going to switch to an orthographic view, and I'm going to switch to a channel box, which is here. Just push this out to the side. So we now have a top view, a front view, a side view, and a perspective view. So I'm just going to make a very basic scene. Now the current layout is, as it stands, is 1 unit in Maya, which is centimeters, will be 1 unit in Unity, which is meters. So I have to think that I'm building in building the project in centimeters when actually it's in meters. So I've just hit the space bar and using the middle mouse to scroll out, and this is dollying the camera out. Okay, and if I click and drag, I can click with the middle mouse button, I can actually pan. Now the scroll mouse that I'm using at the moment is not very good, So I would tend to use the track tool in here, which is easy. And as you can see, it's Alt plus left mouse button is Alt plus middle mouse button. So I'd need to change that. So I'm just going to go back to the arrow, which is this button here. And as you see, we can't dolly around, we can't tumble around it, but we can zoom in and out. So I'm just going to go to polygons and create a plane. I'll use the X key, which as you can see turns on grid snapping. We're going to snap the grid down to about 14 by 14. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be inside Maya, and we're going to take this plane. We're just going to shade this up using OpenGL shading. There we go, so we can shade this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to export the selection as an FBX. I'm going to edit the preset, and the preset I want is to be an automatic one. And just click close. Export the selection, it'll give me an option box. This will be in scenes. I'm just going to call this the plane. So it's exporting that selected object, and then in Unity we should see the plane. There it is, as an FBX file. So this can be dragged into the main screen, and we can frame this up. Okay, and we should be able to see that this has come across as a 1-to-1 ratio. So if I create a cube inside Unity, you'll see that this meter cube is actually set to scale. So let's just bring this back into Maya. With this in mind, we can now change the channel box. We can change the shape of this. So let's have a look at the size of this object under inputs. 13 by 14. So let me make this about 10 meters. So that would be 10,000 by 1,000. I'm just going to export that out again. I'm just going to rename it. We're going to open it up, and then we're going to go over the top. So there you can see we've got this long plane. Let's bring this in. As you can see, this is now a very long strip. So we've got a strip inside Unity. Now let's see what we can make on top of that strip. So we'll zoom out, and I'm just going to build a couple of cubes. I'm going to drag select a cube here, and we'll drag select a cylinder here, maybe a very thin cube there. Okay, I want to export those separately, and these are going to be just objects. And then we're going to go back to Unity. Objects are here. We're just going to pop them into the scene as well.